Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Travis here, and in today's video I wanted to share with you guys the best pin trades that I made at the pin trading tables at Epcot. I got some really amazing pins that I'm excited to share with you guys, so let's check them out. So the pin trading tables at Epcot were an amazing place to trade pins with other guests at the Disney parks. So this wasn't really for cast member trading, but this was more or less with trading with other people that would bring their pins into the park at Epcot and trade with other people. So the pin trading tables at Epcot used to be in front of Disney Pin Central, which was the main pin station at Epcot. There used to be 4 tables at one time, then they reduced it down to 2. But when Stacy and I first started trading, that's where we would go to trade pins. So we would get there really early in the morning. You know, if the park opened up at 9, we would get there right at opening because the tables, even when there was 4, would fill up really quick. And then when they went down to 2, it was even faster. So we would get there really early. We would just bring our pin trading books, lay them out, and we would just trade with people all day. Like, I'm not joking, all day. We would be there from 9 o'clock till 7, 8 o'clock at night. So the whole day we would just pin trade with people. And it was a great way to meet different pin traders, try to build up your collections, and just trade for pins that you normally wouldn't trade for, because, you know, a lot of times on cast members' lanyards, the pins that are on there, they're always the same. So it was just an amazing experience, and we made some amazing pin trades. So the first pin that I want to share with you guys, this pin is amazing, and I'm trying to remember, but if I remember correctly, the lady that traded this with us, she was from Europe, and I want to say, I don't remember if she was from Paris or if she was from the United Kingdom, but this pin is a locket pin, super cool, and it has this hinged element, and when you open it up, there's a character inside. But let me go ahead and show you a close-up of this pin real quick. So here's a close-up of this locket pin, and I don't know if you guys can tell which character it might be when I open it up, but try to pay attention to the little details. So as you can see, this is like a purple background here. It has like some sparkling embellishments, really beautiful. Has like these little flowers or little like plants on the side. And then on the bottom, I don't know if you guys can tell what that is, but on the bottom, it looks like a dragon. So it has like the dragon nose right there, and then on the very bottom, it has like fire coming out. So if you guys can take a guess of what this pin might be, leave a comment down below. But like I said, this is a hinged element, so when you open it up, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up for you guys. It has Aurora right there in the center. And then in the back, you have like this sparkling pink embellishments back there. So beautiful. Then you have the rose coming out of like the flower at the top. So that's awesome. So, you know, when you close it, you really can't see the rose really that much. You can see it a little bit, but when you open it up, the rose kind of blooms. So I think that that's really cool. But as you can see right here on the bottom, it's Maleficent in her dragon form. So I think that's so cool. Such a unique little touch right there, that the handle of the mirror, I know they say it's a locket, but I would call this more like a mirror pin, but the handle of the mirror is Maleficent in her dragon form. So you see her face right there, she has the fire coming out, and then her horns are right there on the sides. So cool. So with this pin, I just think there's so many subtle little details, and I think that's just amazing. It almost kind of has like a stained glass effect here with Maleficent in her dragon form. But let me go ahead and turn it around and show you the back of the pin real quick. So here's a close-up of the back of the pin. As you can see, it has 2 pin posts, has the gold finish on the background. It says Disney Store exclusive, so this is a Disney Store pin. On the right-hand side, it has the Disney Pin Trading copyright, and this is from 2009, and this says limited edition of 1250, and on the bottom, it has the Disney copyright. So I really like this pin. As I was saying earlier, I just love all the subtle details that you really don't notice just from the outside, but when you open it up, it kind of like exposes all the other little elements in it, like the rose on the top. Like you really can't see the rose at the top. You're like, I'm not really sure what that is, but when you open the locket up, because it's a hinged element, which is awesome, you know, the rose kind of opens up fully. So I think that's really cool. And then you really kind of get the full effect of Maleficent in her dragon form, and it has like that stained glass kind of vibe to it. So I just think what an amazing pin. There are other pins in this series. I believe there's a Belle, a Snow White, and I want to say there's one more. I think there's an Ariel pin in this set. So what a cool pin, just something that you don't see that often, and this is definitely going into our collection. We don't really collect that much of Aurora per se, but I do collect Maleficent. I just think that that little element there is amazing, so definitely going into our collection. So the next pin that I want to share with you guys, this pin is from out of the country as well, and I remember the couple that traded this with us, they were from Paris. So this is a Disneyland Paris pin, and this is part of the Princess Locket series. And I remember when this pin set came out, like, it was very popular, everyone was trying to get them. They were a low limited edition, and we ended up trading for one, and you know what happens once you get one pin, then it's like, oh, here we go. Now you gotta try to get the whole set. But this is the Disney Princess Locket series. Let me go ahead and take this pin out of the plastic and show you a close-up of it real quick. So here's a close-up of the Disney Princess Disneyland Paris Locket set. I don't know if you guys can tell which character is going to be on the inside, but it's going to be a princess because this is a princess set. But I don't know if you can tell by the colors and you know what's kind of going on the outside with the flowers and stuff. But just to take note of the outside real quick, I think it's really beautiful. I like the silver that it has here and then these little rhinestones all the way around, so that's really pretty. And then I like the different tones of pink that they use right there, and then like this, I don't know if you want to call this like a cherry blossom or like a Chinese tree branch, but if that gives you any clues of who it might be, let me go ahead and open it up real quick for you guys. And when you open it up, you have Mulan. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna try to get it to stand up real quick. So I couldn't really get the pin to stand up the way I wanted it to when it was on the card. So I took it off the card, but as you can see, you have Mulan right here, and she looks really, really pretty. I love the swirling kind of marbling effect that it has in the background with the pink and the white. I think that's beautiful, and I really love the colors that they use with like this aqua blue here and the different tones of pink with like that maroon color. I think they did a really good job. I think the details on her face, they did really well with the size of the pin. And then on the left-hand side, you can see it says Mulan, and then it has like some Chinese writing. So I think that that's really awesome. But let me go ahead and turn it around and show you the back real quick. So here's a look at the back of the pin, and as you can see, it has one pin post with one nub, has the traditional Mickey waffle pattern that goes all the way to the ends, has the Disney pin trading logo right there, and this is from 2013. On the right hand side it says Disneyland Paris, and it has the Disney Princess for the series. And then, you know, like I guys told you before, with the Paris pins, they always give you what number of the edition it is. So this is a limited edition of 600, and this one is number 389 out of 600. So I think they did a really good job with this pin, and as I've said before, I really think Disneyland Paris pins, I don't know, they have like a little bit better quality than the limited edition pins that were released here in the United States. That's just my opinion, that's how I feel. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. What do you guys think? Would you agree with that? Do you guys think that Disneyland Paris pins are a little bit better than the US pins? But like I said, I love all the things going on here. I like how it's a hinged element, so you know, that's different and unique. I like all the rhinestones on the outside, and then how it has like those cherry blossoms right there. So this is part of a set, so there are other princesses in this set. Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Aurora, there's a whole bunch of other princesses in this set, and the front of them has like a different symbol. So I think Aurora's has like a crown on the front. I don't really remember, but they just have different symbols that would like correlate to what princess is inside. So I think that's really cool. Also, something that I didn't share with you guys, but the price of this pin back when it was released in 2013 was 13.99 euros. But a pin like this, I would think today would probably cost 19.99 at least, or maybe a little bit more. So I mean, I think for this price back then, that was a good deal. So we don't really collect Mulan, but this is part of a series, and I think we're gonna work to get the whole series, so this is definitely gonna go into our collection. All right, so next up, okay, so this pin has an amazing story. So Stacy and I were at the pin trading tables. It's probably the middle of the day. We've probably been there for about 4 to 5 hours, and we're making some pretty good pin trades, but this lady comes up, and she didn't speak English. I believe she was from like Tokyo, because the pin that she traded with us was from Tokyo, but she was a Tinkerbell collector. And at that time, I don't know why, but Stacy and I had a ton of Tinkerbell pins. Like I said, this was the beginning of when Stacy and I first started trading, so we had like an assortment of all sorts of different pins. We were trying to figure out like, you know, what people collect mostly, but for some reason we just had a ton of Tinkerbell pins, and that's what this lady collected. But she had a backpack full of pins, and she took the backpack and just dumped them all on the table. The whole table was filled with her pins, and we just try to work out trades for different things. So, you know, people trade differently. Some people trade, you know, one pin for one pin, and other people trade by value. So they might group like 4 pins together and then trade it for 2 of their pins, or vice versa. So that's how she liked to trade. She traded by value. So she would take like 4 or 5 of her Tinkerbell pins, and she had some nice limited edition pins that she might trade 2 of those for those 5, or, you know, however it worked out. I don't really remember, you know, everything that happened, but I do remember that she had some really like unique pins. She had like these really little Aladdin pins, and they were of like the magic carpet. It was like a 4-pin set, like really like mini pins. And we didn't trade for those, but Stacy to this day, that's like one of her biggest regrets, because she loves Aladdin pins, and you just do not see those tiny little pins of the carpet from Aladdin. They're like super hard to find. She had the whole set, And I remember she wanted to trade them with us, but I think Stacy maybe she wasn't really paying attention or wasn't interested, but she always says, I really wish I would have made that trade. But we ended up making a lot of trades with her, but this was one that I really loved, and this is from Tokyo, and this is the Ariel silhouette pin. Let me go ahead and show you a close-up of this real quick. So here's a close-up of the Tokyo Ariel silhouette pin. So this pin I think is just beautiful. I just love everything that's going on. I really love the silhouette series, especially the newer silhouette series of the stained glass. So this almost kind of has a stained glass feel, but it's not stained glass, but it really has a lot of cool effects going on. So I love this side here, how it's all gold and it has all these little seashells on the side. So I love those little touches right there. I think that's beautiful. Has this sparkling embellishment bow right there in like this aqua green kind of color. I think that's really pretty. And then you have Ariel there. She has the flower in her hair. And like I said, this is a silhouette pin, so it's just her silhouette, no details on the face or anything. She's holding the fork or the dingle hopper. And I just think overall, what a cool pin. So on the back of the pin, as you can see, it has one pin post with two nubs. It has a gold background. Right there it says pin collecting, and then underneath that it says Tokyo Disney Resort. And this pin was released in 2014. So I just think that this pin is really different and unique. Like I said, with all the different elements on the side with the seashells, and then like the silhouette effect with Ariel. I think that that's really pretty. But there are other pins in this set. So there is a Rapunzel and there is a Cinderella. So there is two other pins that belong in this set. But really awesome. As you guys know, I'm an Ariel collector, so this is definitely going into my collection. So the next pin that I want to share with you guys, I feel like every pin here is going to have a story. So I remember this pin, this gentleman had come up to us. It was the very end of the day. It was like 8 o'clock. It was dark. And he was from California. So he had these beautiful pins from Disney Soda Fountain, things like that. Super nice guy. And I remember, you know, when we were at the tables, this is like when Stacy and I first started pin trading. So we had some good pins, but nothing of like, you know, Disney Soda Fountain caliber. But he ended up trading with us. I remember we were looking through his pin books and we had to use our lights on our phone to try to like, you know, see what the pins were. Cause I mean, Epcot's, you know, it has lights at night, but sometimes at the pin tables, it's like really hard to see. So we were like using like a little flashlights on our phones. But he ended up trading with us this Aladdin stained glass pin. It's a hinge pin, but let me go ahead and show you a close-up of it real quick. So here's a close-up of the Aladdin stained glass pin, and right off the bat you can just tell, wow, it is so beautiful. Stacy and I, we just love stained glass pins, and as you can see it has the lamp right there, and then you have the smoke kind of swirling out from it. So cool. I wonder who's inside, and when you open up, because this is a hinge pin, you have Jasmine right there. So on the left-hand side it says Walt Disney World, and then you have Jasmine, and she's in like this gold finish. So there's no colors on it, but it's more like an impression of Jasmine right there. So it's kind of raised a little bit. But what a cool pin and what a cool effect that it has. But let me go ahead and show you the back of it real quick. So on the back of the pin, it has one pin post with two nubs. It has a gold finish. It says Official Pin Trading 2006. And then on the bottom it says Copyright Disney, Made in China. So I just want to show you guys a close-up of the stained glass and how it looks. God, it's so beautiful. I just love all the colors that they used. And you know, when the light passes through it, it really kind of enhances the pin with that stained glass effect. So as you guys know, Stacy and I love stained glass pins. So this is right up Stacy's alley with stained glass. It's Aladdin. It has Jasmine inside. So an awesome pin. Loved how it has that hinge element, so it kind of opens up. And then the stained glass part, you know, when it kind of shines through the light, it's just so pretty. So this is definitely something that's going to be going into our collection. Alright guys, so we're down to the last pin that I want to share with you guys. I feel like all the pins that I've shared with you so far have pretty much been for Stacy, except for the Ariel pin. So, you know, 3 out of the 4 have been for Stacy. But the last pin that I want to share with you guys is definitely something for me. And like I said, all these pins have a story. So I remember this was like in the very, very beginning of when Stacy and I started pin trading. So we didn't really know too much about the tables. You know, we'd walk by them, but we're like, we're never gonna be able to trade with anybody here. We don't have pins that are good enough to trade there. Let me tell you, that is so far from the truth. You never know what people are looking for and what people are willing to trade. I think it's always best to ask, because what's the worst that they can say is no, they don't want to trade. That's fine. Then, you know, you just work on your traders and come back next time. But I was really intimidated to trade with this lady at the table because, like I said, we had just started. I didn't have that many traders. I had a lot of like hidden Mickey pins and things like that, but not really any limited editions. But this lady was so sweet to me, and she had this pirate box set that I really, really wanted. I remember going up to her, I'm like, hey, would you trade anything for this, pirate box set? And she's like, well, what do you have? And I'm like, well, I don't really have that much stuff, but I have a lot of the new hidden Mickeys that I had released at that time. When we first started pin trading, we would just go around to the parks and trade for the new hidden Mickeys and then try to use some of the hidden Mickeys to trade for other pins. And she was like, okay. And she worked with me. I traded like, I don't know, 10 to 12 hidden Mickeys for one limited edition box set. And I just remember that to this day. And sometimes I do see her at the pin events and I always go up to her and I'm like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but you were one of my first like major pin trades and you were so sweet. And she's like, oh yeah, I remember. But it was just an amazing experience, which is why like I love trading at the table so much, because you could always trade, all these different pins and you just saw pins that you really never saw before. But anyways, the pin set that I traded for is a Pirates of the Caribbean pin set, and this is at World's End, and this is of all three of the pirate ships, the Black Pearl, the Empress, and the Flying Dutchman. Let me go ahead and show you a close-up of it real quick. So before I remove the cover of this Pirates of the Caribbean pin set, I just want to take note of the box. I think they did a really good job with the box. It kind of has like this tarnished kind of red with like some writing right here. And then it says Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, and this is a limited edition of 1000. But let me go ahead and remove the top cover off for you guys and show you a close-up of these pins. All right, so here's a close-up of the 3 pirate ship pins. I love this pin set. So you have the Black Pearl right here, and on the bottom it says Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. So this was, at World's End, this was the set from that movie when that movie came out. So you have the Black Pearl right here looking awesome. It's in like this pewter color, and then on the back you have this sparrow for Captain Jack Sparrow. Love it, amazing. And then in the middle you have another ship. This is the Empress from the 3rd Pirates of the Caribbean movie at World's End. So this was Sao Fang's ship. So on the right hand side you have the Flying Dutchman. I love the Flying Dutchman, love that ship, how it can go underwater. It's just awesome, so amazing. But you have like the pewter outline of it here, and then on the very top it has like the octopus from Davy Jones, how he's kind of has that octopus type face. So cool, has those little details in the background. But let me go ahead and take them off the backer card and show you a close-up of those real quick. Side note, leave me a comment down below if any of you guys were on a Disney cruise and actually got to see the Flying Dutchman at Castaway Cay. It was there for some time, and I get so jealous when I see pictures. I'm like, oh my god, that is so cool that the Flying Dutchman would be off of the coast of Castaway Cay. So cool. But leave me a comment down below, let me know if you actually saw it in real life. So here's a look at the back of the pin. I'm just going to show you one of them because they're all the same on all of them. But as you can see, it has a silver tone finish to the back. It has 2 pin posts. This is a limited edition of 1000. Has the Disney Pin Trading logo right there. This was released in 2007. And then on the right hand side, it has the Disney copyright China. And then also I wanted to show you guys that this is a pin-on-pin element. So you have the front of the pin right here that's attached to this back piece. So it's like 2 pins right there. And a quick look at the back of the box. It says Official Pin Trading 2007 and Limited Edition of 1000. So I want to mention that with this pin set, each of these pins were released in this pin set, all 3 of them. So they did not sell these pins individually. So if you're looking for these pins like on eBay or in the pin trading groups and you're not going to get it together in this box set, you're going to like buy them individually, make sure that the bottom right here where it's brown and it says Pirates of the Caribbean, make sure that the words are there, because these pins have been faked, and on the fake ones it's just a brown background. There is no words, so just make sure that the words are there. So I also want to mention, I just noticed this just now, is that these bottom pieces that have the writing, they're on like a leather type material or kind of like a cloth type material. So it's not just like an enamel fill right there, it's actually like a cloth or leather, and they actually put the words on there. So little touches, you guys know how I love those little touches, but really cool. I can't believe I just found that out just now. So thank you guys so much for joining me in today's video, taking a trip down memory lane. The pin trading tables have been removed from Epcot, which is such a bummer because it was just a great trading experience. But a lot of the pin traders have moved over to the right hand side. There's like these concrete ledges that is over if you're going to walk over towards Soarin' at Epcot. So if you go towards the right and you go over that way, to the right there's like these concrete ledges, and people a lot of times will put their trader books on those ledges, and that's where a lot of people trade these days. So if you remember the pin trading tables at Epcot, leave me a comment down below because you're old school. And if you remember the pin trading tables at Downtown Disney, I miss that era, but I heard that was just amazing. So there used to be pin trading tables at Downtown Disney right next to pin traders, and I mean, I can only imagine what kind of trades you would get there. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you had a favorite pin out of this Epcot pin trading table haul, leave me a comment down below. If I had to pick, I don't know, we had some amazing pins, like that Mulan locket is amazing from Paris, so beautiful. And that Aurora, I know they call it a locket, but I feel like it's like a mirror pin with a Maleficent in her dragon form on the bottom as the handle. That one's just amazing, so I feel like those two are right up there. This one is probably my favorite, not by much. I am a Pirates of the Caribbean collector and I love the ships, but I feel like those two other pins are like really awesome as well. But leave me a comment down below, let me know what your favorite was. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye guys!